Hi guys, I wish you all a nice Sunday evening, I guess, once this video will be out. So the reason for this video actually, or the purpose of it, I wanted to give once again a big thank you to all the new commenters I got for one specific thing. Because I told you, I did this in the last video, talking about getting back from the Raw channel now on this one here again. And a few people, and that was really nice to get some feedback, telling me that they specifically like these kinds of videos. So everything apart from the reviews, because yeah, that's nice to see that it's not all about my reviews anymore. And some people actually, even if not a lot, like this kind of stuff where I just talk about maybe the news, the rant, or anything like this. So this is something I really know to appreciate is, and that's why I want to do more of these videos anymore. And I told you already on the last video, I don't, not that I don't care about the views, but I don't bother, or I don't concern about it if I don't get them, because if I get the few views like I did last time, like about slightly over 200 and 50 and 60 likes, that is amazing, because usually those videos got like just 10 or 15 likes. But seeing everything above 30, this actually means a lot to me. So something like 50, 60 likes on these kinds of videos are really nice. So if you enjoy these videos, like I said, it would be nice to leave a thank you as a like, because it's not that it helps me getting those videos spread, because that's not the purpose, but it's nice to get, even if it's just a small feedback that people want to see these kind of videos. But before I'm going to drag this any longer, what are the topics of this video that I still want to talk about and not just say thanks to you? First topic would be the Crapdragon 810. Yes, I will get to that later. Then I had some Windows install trouble. I will get to that as well later. And I think the last topic, maybe if something else comes up, will be I am waiting for at least the Snapdragon 820. But let's get to the first topic. The Crapdragon 810. Why do I call it like that? And of course we have to distinguish why I call it Crapdragon. I don't call it Crapdragon because of performance or anything like that. No, the performance is fine. It is one of the best performing devices. Super smooth. For example, if you have the HTC One M9, it is a top device, and I don't want to make anyone feel bad about his choice. If the device does all he needs from it, that's fine. Performance is great. The only two issues I had, at least on this device, was the temperature. It just felt odd, and I said it already on a few videos, and that's why I don't want to drag it longer. And the battery life is just bad. And this leads me to say it's a Crapdragon, because on all the other devices using the A10 we see the similar, like the Z3 Plus. I won't get that for right now, but I should get a review on it maybe anytime soon. But I'm pretty sure what I will see a less battery life than on the Z3. It will be maybe a little bit smoother, but therefore it will be also a lot hotter. And the Z3 was also already on, and the Z2 and the Z1 known for their overheating issues. So this is definitely something to concern about. And I personally would recommend anyone who doesn't need or want the flagship right now not to get an 810. And yes, this includes the OnePlus One. Because even if throttled, it's the battery life. The SoC itself or anything about it, maybe, I don't know why exactly, it just isn't power efficient. I'm pretty sure if you get a custom kernel for that, maybe you can resolve a lot of that and you can actually improve the battery life, and maybe this will make a huge improvement. Because I think like it like this: the more inefficient out of the box a device is, the more custom kernel developers and custom ROM developers can actually improve. And I saw this, for example, from Alex Cruz when he did show off his stats for the Zenfone 2, and he had like 8 hours of screen on time, and I see people reviewing it and getting like 4 or 5, and he said, yes, of course, custom ROM. So if things are optimized, maybe the Snapdragon is not bad. But most of the people don't buy and mod the device. So if you just buy it as it is, I would say don't go for it. And the same goes for the OnePlus. If you plan on maybe getting custom kernels and so on, things will be fine. Things should be okay. So maybe also you can get the heat, but I'm still saying, I'm pretty sure the device will be more than normally hot. And it will get a decent battery life at best. Maybe 4.5, 4 hours. It's enough, don't get me wrong, but it has a 3300 milliamp hour of battery, and from that I would expect more, especially if the old one with 3100 had amazing battery life. So G Flex 2, Z3 Plus, OnePlus One, OnePlus 2, One M9, all these devices, and I'm pretty sure the Axon itself, all solid, well-performing devices, but if you have something halfway recent, it's not worth the upgrade. The performance update won't be really visible. The battery life will be worse and the device will be hotter. So if that's for you worth upgrading, personally, I don't think so. Okay, next issue I wanted to talk about, or at least it's an issue for me, because some of you maybe know I got myself a new SSD, a 500 gig Samsung Evo 850, because my old one, it was an 830 Evo, had only 128 gigabytes, and with Windows it was always good enough, and even with my editing right now on this device it was enough. But since I got the GTX 970 for my gaming PC now, or my desktop PC where I game now, it just isn't enough anymore. I couldn't install more than 2 games, I think, on this device, and it was full. So I needed a 500. I got something bigger. The 500 is more than enough now, because I won't really install more than 4 or 5 games, because I only play racing games, because everything else is way too time consuming and you have to stay on it for long. You have to be continuous. But I'm someone who wants to sometimes maybe spend an hour to play maybe a race or two, and then it's already fine. I'm just not in my mind anymore, because with all this YouTube stuff, all this reviewing, I'm so busy in my free time that I can't spend 30-40 hours on playing a game. I can maybe spend it on gaming, but not on one game, because I just don't have the patience to stay for that long. But if it's a racing game and I stop in the middle of the season right now, because when I switched to my device and made a new clean install, I didn't save any save games, because I thought, yeah, why, I can just start over new, won't really lose that much. So that's why I mostly play racing games, and why, because I like racing games. That's the reason. But the reason is I wanted to talk about is Windows install troubles, because my old upgrade Windows 8.1 had issues, because I couldn't get into in my account anymore. And maybe my issue was on my old desktop I used only a local account. On all the review units I had so far, I had an live account, so a Microsoft account, and used that. And I thought if I switch to 10, I should maybe use this login and use it for all the universal apps. I did that. But for some reason, being logged onto with my live account, so the Microsoft account, I couldn't access any network storages anymore. So if I would switch back to my local account, this was possible. But if I click on accounts, the window is there like a fraction, like a tenth of a second. I couldn't enter it anymore. And since I needed for the new SSD a new system anyways, I thought about it's not worth cleaning anything, because it's an old crappy system. Let's do a new one. I did that, and then I noticed one thing. I did a speed test, and the SSD should get about 550 or 520 or so read speeds and 500 write speeds. I got like 380, 370. I thought something is wrong. Must be the drivers. I checked everything, but my board is like 5 years old, and all the drivers on Windows 10 are up to date, no problems here at all. I thought, what could be the issue? Okay, maybe let's try a different SATA port, because my board has 2 SATA 3 ports, 4 SATA 2 ports, and then separately 2 SATA 3A ports, whatever this A is, but that's not chipset, no stock chipset port. That's something like externally they did to get more ports. I thought that should be the same, because my board said all 4 are SATA 3. I plugged it in the normal SATA 3. Now I have 520 and 510, which is supposed, what? That's fine. That's the speed the SSD should have. So it's a bit odd, because I used my old SSD like 3 or 4 years already on this port. So maybe I limited the speed actually, because also there was one thing, my Windows 10 was very sluggish. And the odd thing is, for example, if I used the Explorer, Firefox, and then had a YouTube video playing, went into full screen, like only 3/4 went into full screen, and it took like 3 seconds to get to real full screen. Same if I get down to windowed mode. And then was another issue that when I hit a tab and one jump to the next tab, there was a delay of 2 seconds and so on. So something definitely on my Windows installation didn't work out right. So it was very sluggish, very slow. Right now with the right port, it seems a little better, but I didn't try it enough yet. But I definitely had some issues. It seems okay now. There's also one driver, but I had this also on 8.1. It shows me one device as not installable, and I have no clue what it is, because I have only the graphics card in it and then what's connected to the motherboard. So I don't know what is. My Bluetooth works, my Ethernet works, my sound card works, my graphics cards works. Sound card is on a graphics card. So all that works, so I have no clue what I'm actually missing out on. Not sure if it's important or not. Maybe it would solve something, but I think for like the last 3 years or so already, I didn't have that installed, so it shouldn't be that bad. But yeah, I had issues, but it still doesn't take anything away. If you have a proper running Windows 10, it is a great experience. And I see people, like for example, just yesterday I got a comment that said, I'm a long time Mac user and I think about just checking it and so on. And I personally using Windows 10 for like 2 weeks right now as my daily driver also on the review laptop. I like it. I like it a lot. It works out really well. And my Mac system is nice. It works. But yes, the apps are still better, but I don't use apps. And I just noticed this on my desktop, how less apps I have. I have like the media player, I have Adobe Premiere, I have WinRAR, I have VLC. So I have like a handful of apps. That's all I need. So the advantage of the better apps on macOS definitely are not that compelling anymore. Okay, on my Mac I did more of the blogging stuff, but since I don't blog anymore, that's also not that important anymore. So if I could use on my MacBook Windows 10 without any issues with the same driver instead, I would definitely prefer it. But even, okay, I know I can run it on it, but the touchpad would never work that well. The battery life wouldn't be the same. So that's not worth the trade-off. But if there would be an equivalent in terms of hardware with Windows 10, I personally definitely think it is the better system for now. The last point for right now, I am waiting at least for the 820. I have a device with an 801, the Sony Xperia Z3, and upgrading to a device with an 808 or 810 for me personally makes no sense. Because yes, if you want the best of the best in terms of camera, you maybe need the S6 or you need the G4. But if you are okay with what you have for right now, if it's halfway decent, 800, 801, don't make the mistake and buy something just to buy it now. And even the Moto X style, no, it is a nice device, but believe me, wait for the Nexus or wait for anything with something else than the 810 or 808. Because even the 808, I see people, yes, I know a lot of people are saying it is super smooth, it is super great, but it is still, it's not even a high-end flagship chipset. And that's not saying that because that's a bit too superficial and seeing it too easy. Of course it performs well, but it's on the same performance level as maybe 801, 805. So also not worth the upgrade. It maybe runs good enough, but it is not worth the upgrade. If you don't have anything, okay. But if you just wait for maybe the 820 or whatever comes then, I think it will be worth it. Or maybe even the 620, because the rumors say it is faster than the 810, for example, on the Nexus, and that could be something good. But I don't think what they released early this year, the 808 or 810, are really top-notch or the best Snapdragon or Qualcomm can do. They can do better, and the issue mostly is because they didn't use the custom architecture. I don't know the specific term right now, but they used what came out of the box from ARM, and that was a mistake. The 820 should improve all on that. Also, we will have 40 millimeters or nanometers. I'm not really it should be nanometers instead of 20, and we see performance improvements of about 30%. Also, battery should be less. So I think that's where you will maybe notice a real step up. And also I think battery life can just be better than on the 810, because they screwed up something on the 810. Not so sure about the 808 because I haven't reviewed it yet, but I think if you wait a little bit longer, you should get something a lot better. And that's what I'm gonna do, definitely. I'm not going for the 810, no device, and even the OnePlus or so. There are like outdated or not the best anymore, and not even out yet. So same goes for the Moto X style. It seems like a really great device, but no, not really. And yes, everyone says the price is great with $399, but it's not $399 if you pay for the 32GB version, because 16 for me, even with an SD card, just isn't enough to really properly install things. It doesn't work out for me on the Sony Xperia Z3, especially if you use custom ROMs and do non-Android backups, it won't be enough. So 33, I would need that. That costs more, SD card costs more, Moto Maker costs more, so it will be more expensive definitely, and I'm expecting more, about $550 in the end. Because here in Germany I already see one thing. The Moto X Play was announced at $299 and it's $380 here in Germany already, so euros. So already way more expensive than it should be actually. So the OnePlus still, I think, will be the better value. Maybe the better device will be the Moto X style, but I don't want to go much into that until I use either one of them. Even though I don't think I will use the OnePlus 2, because I won't buy it. Definitely not for my money. What else? Is there anything else to talk about? I am not so really sure, because it's also super hot. I pretty much talked what I wanted about. Also already way too long. But once again, leave me comments, and yeah. I could maybe do these videos a lot longer, maybe make it like a 40 or 50 hour show. If I get enough topics and if I get something out of it or back. I mean, feedbacks, likes and all that. But that's up for you. Let me know. Until next time, bye. And have a nice weekend. At least the end of it. Okay, bye.